We have the Rising Shadows event in Pokemon Go, so I'm going to break down all the top tips to help you guys max out on this event in Pokemon Go. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go! This event is going down on the 22nd all the way till the 28th, so it is live for everybody right now, so we're going to go over everything we need to know about this event. The bonuses going down are going to be increased rocket activity everywhere, so you're going to get more balloons, and there's going to be more rocket grunts at all the stops. And this is a great opportunity for you guys, just as a reminder, to collect shards to then go and purify them into a gem. This gem will help you take down Mewtwo this weekend in the shadow form. And just remember that, unfortunately, we cannot do remote raid invites for the shiny shadow potential Mewtwo that is going to be coming up here. The raids for the Mewtwo are going to go down on Saturday, the 27th, starting at 10 a.m. local time and go all the way until 8 p.m. on the 28th. So you have 2 total days, basically, to be able to get this Pokemon. And just a couple of reminders on the details of these Pokemon. So for the Shadow raids, which we will cover in a tip here, the base floor can be 666. Unfortunately, it cannot be 10-10-10, but that makes sense because Shadow Pokemon are extremely strong, so coming out the bat at a 2-star Shadow with more potential to be even higher is going to be a little bit crazy. So I understand why it is at this base floor here. And then as far as enraged Pokemon, only 3-star and 5-star Pokemon can be enraged when the XP, where basically the HP bar, goes down to 50%. And just to remember, 1 shard can be earned per raid, or if you do get a reward bundle, you will be able to get up to 2 shards. Defeating Team Go Rocket Grunts will give you 1 shard, and defeating Team Go Rocket Leaders will give you 3 shards. And then if you do defeat Giovanni, which I don't suggest that you do right now because I'm not a big fan of it, the Pokemon that it has, but it will give you 4 shards. And just remember, 4 shards are required to purify into 1 purified gem. And 2 quick reminders is that it looks like you can hold up to 10 purified gems, so that's pretty cool to start stocking up right now. That's going to be one of our biggest tips. And then also make sure your bag is not full when you're doing any of these activities, because shadow shards do take up space in your bag and will not drop if you have a full bag. So with all that said, let's start going into the raids, the spawns, and everything else in tip number 1. Tip number 1 is going to be, once again, all about these shards. So I suggest you guys do as many rocket grunts as possible. You do not have to do the raids if you do not want to, because you can get the shards outside. So go out and defeat a bunch of grunts, save up some egg spots, get these 12-kilometer eggs, because just remember the 12-kilometer eggs are the easiest way to be able to get you Stardust. On the star piece, with about 12 of them incubated and hatching, you will earn anywhere between 80 and 95,000 Stardust. So it is a big bump. Yes, it does require some resources to be able to get you there, but it is definitely worth it. So I suggest you guys go with that. And not only that, this weekend we are going to have Shadow Mewtwo in raids, so I highly suggest you guys start getting a team together, stocking up on as many purified gems as possible, because you can stack them with other trainers to help you take down this Mewtwo faster. I'm not really sure exactly what the enraged Mewtwo is going to look like or how strong it could get, but if it is very strong and you don't have a big party, that could definitely be problematic for you if you don't have these gems. So I definitely suggest you guys get out there, battle as many leaders as possible. So with that said, stack up on those purified gems, and let's get it to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is going to be all about the spawns going on during this event, because just remember, guys, we have spawns going on as well. So we're going to have Ekans, that does have a shiny, obviously. Golbat does not have a shiny, but Golbat is going to be ranked 53 in the Great League in the Shadow form, or 70 in the non-Shadow form. With the moveset of Wing Attack, Poison Fang, and Shadow Ball, 100% IV is going to be a 0-15-15 for this one. And then we are going to have Coughing, we are going to have Houndour, and just remember, Houndour does go into Mega Houndoom, which as of right now is the strongest Dark-type Mega in the game. So great to have XL Candy for this Pokemon, and it also helps out in dual typing. I mean, you don't have to max this Pokemon. There are very strong dark types, but if you are using a dark type meta as a counter, this would be a great one to be able to have XL Candy for. And then we have Poochyena, that does have a pretty cool gold shiny. And then we do have Stunky as well as Skorupi. So both of these Pokemon are going to be effective in some form in PvP. So for the Skunk Tank, in the Ultra League, it's actually going to be ranked 82 with Poison Jab, Crunch, and Sludge Bomb. 100% IV is going to be a 3-15-14, and then the Shadow is actually ranked 1 place right above it, which is pretty impressive. And then we do have the Drapion, that's ranked 75 in the Shadow form, or 112 in the non-Shadow form in the Ultra League. XL Candies are required for this one, as well as the Skunk Tank, with the moveset combination of Poison Jab, Crunch, and Aqua Tail. 0-15-15 is the 100% IV, and that is going to be at level 48. And then if you are lucky, you will be able to get the Qwilfish in the Hisuian form, as well as Scraggy in the wild, which are 2 very rare, and normally, for the Qwilfish, not a wild Pokemon very often here. So these Pokemon are actually very relevant in PvP as well. The Qwilfish is actually actually ranked 75 in the Great League with Poison Jab, Aqua Tail, and Shadow Ball, 0, 15, 15 on this one. And then the Scrafty in the Great League is actually ranked 3 with Counter, Foul Play, and Power Up Punch recommended moves at a 0, 8, 15. And then in the Ultra League, it's ranked 23 at a 9, 15, 15, but that's at level 50, so that is going to require you 296 XL candy. But great Pokemon here. I like the wild Pokemon, good looking shinies, typical rocket Pokemon that we do see in the wild with the dark poison type combination, which is then going to lead us to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is going to be all about the shadow Pokemon that we are seeing in the raid battles. So these shadow Pokemon are going to be Poliwag. We are going to have Machop. We are also going to have Bellsprout, and then we are going to have Beldum, and that's in tier 1. Just remember, 666 is the base floor here for all of these Pokemon. So the highly recommended raid battles to be able to go after are going to be Machamp as well as Beldum. These Pokemon are extremely strong in their respective categories of steel as well as fighting. So I highly suggest if you guys are going to be doing 1-star shadow raids that these are the Pokemon that you do focus on. And while the shiny Poliwhirl is cool, going into shiny Poliwrath in the shadow form as well as shiny Politoad, these Pokemon unfortunately do not breach the PvP scene, and they also do not really breach the meta attackers either, so I would suggest not going here. But in the 3-star raids, we do have Bayleaf, Quilava, as well as Crocronaut, and then finally we have the shiny Sneasel. So if you want the shiny Shadow Sneasel, you can go after this one. However, I am not the biggest fan of any of these Pokemon in raids, so I probably would skip over this standpoint here. And then we have the normal 1-star raids, which is going to be Clefairy, Tentacool, Marill, Skrulp, and Poplio. Once again, I would skip over these raids, not a big fan. If you just need one of these to enter into your unique Pokédex, I suggest you do so. And then for the 3-star raids, we do have Magneton, we also have Lapras, we have Mawile that does have a shiny, and then we have Empoleon. So Mawile, it has been spawning in the wild, so I would also skip doing the raids, but just remember there is a Mega Mawile at some point. Even though it's not really the best in any of the categories, it is a unique typing though, so you don't really need to have the best one because I don't suggest you guys power that up. And then we also have the Tapu Fini in raid battles, and then we're going to switch over into Regigigas on Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. So you guys are definitely going to want to be prepped and ready for that one, which is then going to lead us to the next tip, number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be all about the field research going on right now. So we do have defeat 2 Team Rocket Grunts, which will yield you a mysterious component. And then we have catch 10 poison types or catch 10 dark types, and that will yield you 500 Stardust, or we have win a raid for 1,000 Stardust. So if you are going to be doing raids anyway, and you can find 3 of the win a raid tasks, you can get an additional 3,000 Stardust for winning that one raid and go even further than that. So that is going to be very effective here. I highly suggest you guys do that. So there's nothing too crazy out there right now for this instance, but just remember the rocket leaders are out there as well. As far as the rocket leaders go, the Pokemon that I am the biggest fan of is coming from Cliff, because you do have a shiny potential on the Shadow Larvitar, and Tyranitar is a pretty boss Pokemon. But then also we do have Teddiursa and the Murkrow, and while Honchkrow may be pretty powerful as a dark type attacker, it's very glassy, so I typically stay away from those extremely glassy Pokemon, because whenever you're fighting a raid boss with those Pokemon, they're gonna get flicked right out of there. I'm not the biggest fan. And then finally, now let's get into tip number 5. Tip number 5 is going to be the research that's going to reward you a Master Ball in Pokemon Go. So here we go. Catch 10 Pokemon for 5 Pokeballs. We have make 10 Curveball throws for 5 Raspberries. Power up a Pokemon 5 times for 1,000 Stardust. Then we get 1,500 XP and a Mankey encounter. Catch 15 Pokemon for 10 Pokeballs. Make 10 Great Throws for 5 Pineapple Berries. Transfer 20 Pokemon for 5 Great Balls. Then we have 2,000 XP and a Meditite encounter. In stage number 3, we have power up a Pokemon 10 times for 10 Great Balls. Make 7 Great Throws for a Lure Module. And then defeat a Team Go Rocket member for 3 Revives. 2,500 XP and a Machoke encounter. Then we have catch a Pokemon for 1,000 XP and 1,000 Stardust. In stage number 5, we have catch 25 Pokemon for 2,500 Stardust. Defeat 3 Team Go Rocket Grunts, easy. All these tasks are pretty easy actually. For 3 Hyper Potion, make 3 excellent throws for the Galarian Farfetch. Evolve 5 Pokemon for 2,500 Stardust, and then battle in a gym 3 times for 5 Revives. 1 Master Ball. There it is, guys. We finally get the Master Ball in Pokemon Go. Please make sure to use this wisely. 1,000 XP and 1,000 Stardust. And then in stage number 6, we have 10 Ultra Balls, 2 Silver Pineapple Berries, 1 Star Piece, 3,000 XP, and 3,000 Stardust. And then there's also an avatar pose going on in this game. So guys, what would I suggest doing here? Honestly, if you do like to try to get either a good quality Shadow coming from the raids in the 1-star, in preferential, only 2 of them that I did recommend, which is going to be Beldum or Machop. Those are going to be the most effective. And then beyond that, guys, enjoy yourself, catch Pokemon, get the Shards, and be ready for Mewtwo. I'm going to have counter guides to get you guys all prepped and ready to go for this in Pokemon Go. So thank you guys for being here as always. Love and appreciate all you guys. To all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes your support, subscription, participation to the next level. I'm going to see you guys out on the next video. Peace.
I want want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.